Hello, welcome to my world. Today we're going to be talking about the so-called half length. Does it really exist in a freehand drafting, in a freehand cutting? Does it really exist? No, it does not exist. It's either we have what we call the front length and the back length. Now, we advanced tailors, when we draft, when we cut on our fabric, we know where and where to cut out some excesses so that our clothes fits our client perfectly, or even we ourselves to fit us perfectly, especially we ladies. Now, for the beginners, they find it difficult. That's why you find some people struggling. Where do I remove? Why is it not fitting? Why is it not contour to the body? So they keep struggling in why they use freehand cutting. That's why some people now are going for pattern drafting. I'm not saying pattern drafting is wrong. Pattern drafting is perfect. Now, I use pattern drafting. I use freehand mostly. Now, pattern drafting, when I want to use it, it depends on what I am making. Is either I'm making a couture dress or I'm making a bridal dress. So that's when I use pattern drafting, so that to be able to know what to do and to be able to manipulate whatever I want to make. And it enables you to remove some excesses that you cannot do in a freehand. In a freehand, you either dart all those parts that you're supposed to cut away. So that's what happens when we use a freehand cutting. So today I'm going to be drafting the way I draft my basic bodies when I want to cut my clothes, where I remove some excesses when I'm sewing. So we're going to do that today. But before that, if you are new to my channel, you are welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please do not hesitate to subscribe to our channel. We give tips and tricks on this channel, and please do not forget to press the notification bell, and the most importantly, please do share. There's some people that are looking for this tips to be able to eliminate some things that they have been finding difficult while sewing. So for my new subscribers, I love you. Thank you for subscribing. My old subscriber, you know I appreciate you. Thank you so much, so much. I think we need to dive into the project. So if you are interested, let's carry on and get to work. So guys, when I want to start, what are the exact fabric that I need for my basic bodies? So what I normally do is I divide the biggest parts. Sometimes you might find out that it's the waist that is bigger than the bust. So I divide it into four. I add the dart allowance, the sewing allowance, the zip allowance, and some allowance when it comes to princess cut, the exact one I need for each client or each measurement. So in this case, I've cut out the paper that we're going to use, and I've, just like I said, the first thing I did was I measured out the front length 17.5, then I added 3 inches, then I divided my bust, which is the biggest part, by 4, and I added 3 inches allowance. I'm using a standard measurement. I've been using this for years, so I'm going to use the standard measurements. So what I do first is I always measure out for the back. I cut the same thing for the front and for the back. So I'll measure for the back, I'll measure out the zip allowance that I need. I'll mark and measure it out, just like I'm doing. Measure out the zip allowance. In this case, I'm using 1 inch zip allowance. Then I will now place the front. Place it at the zip allowance, and I will pin. I'll pin. I'm gonna use my zip allowance. And the next thing, I measure out 2 inches allowance as a guide, which also represents my shoulder line. So I mark it out, then I will connect Okay, so the next thing I'll do is to mark my vertical measurements, which I'm going to mark 10 3/4 for my bust depth, under bust 14.5, then 17.5 for front length. Then I repeat the same thing so as to connect my lines. Okay. Okay, so I now mark my shoulder line, which is 16 here, so I'll divide into 2. I'll mark 8. Then I'll mark my shoulder slope for the front, which is 1.5. I'll mark it. Then from that shoulder slope, I'll mark my armhole depth, which is 7.5. The formula is showing on our screen for our armhole depth. Sometimes if you know how to measure your armhole circumference, you can divide that by 2 and use it as your armhole depth. It works too. So now I'm going to transfer the shoulder length divided by 2. I'll transfer it to the armhole depth line, which is 8. So I'll connect. Okay, so the next thing, let me mark my neck width and neckline. For the neckline, I will mark 3 inches. For the neck width, there's a formula for it. In my standard measurement, I have it at 2 3/4, but I'm going to use 3 by 3. So I'll connect using my armhole curve. Okay, so now I'm not going to connect the shoulder slope I marked the other time, which is 1.5. Okay, so we understand up to this point. So now my horizontal measurements, I'm not going to apply it here. So the bust is 38, so which is divided by 4. I have 9.5. In this draft that I'm drafting, I'm not adding ease allowance, so I just add my sewing allowance. It depends on what you want to sew. They have different degree for every material and every style you want to make. So I'm going to transfer this to my bust depth, which is 10.5. Now I'm using the same measurement for my under bust and my waistline. Your under bust can be different, you can tighten it, depends on what you are making. So for my waist now is 30 from the standard measurement, so I'm going to use 7.5 divided into 4. I'm going to add that allowance. Now I'm going to add sewing allowance. Now the that allowance, if it's a pattern drafting, is different from the back. I'm not going to go into that. All we are doing now is freehand. So now I'm going to connect this measurement. Just like I said, I'm using the same measurement for the under bust. Let's see, this is 7.5. This is 1 inch that allowance, 1 inch sewing allowance. So there's a gap. So let me bridge the gap. Okay. So now the next thing to do is to mark our armhole. Now I move 2 inches up from the armhole depth. Then I measure in 1/2 inch for the back, 1/4 inch for the front. Sometimes I make them equal, so now I'm going to when you are marking your armhole, you don't take it from the sewing allowance. Exactly where your bust stops is when you're going to mark from. So you take it from there, and I'm going to connect for the back. Now for the front. to make it the same. Okay, so now we have marked for our front. We are not going to take care of our back. Now for the back, it's 1.5. 1.5, that is 3/4. It's supposed to be 3/4 higher at the neckline, plus sewing allowance that I've inculcated. So I'm going to make it 1.5 inch together. So 1.5 from the shoulder slope of the front. So I'm going to connect. Okay, so now I'm going to mark the neckline for the back. So okay, now just like I said, that there's a difference between the front length and the back length, which most times is 1 inch or 1.25, depending, or even more than. It depends on who you are measuring. Our body are different, so in this case it is 1 inch more than the back length. So I'm going to measure 1 inch from the front length for the back. So we're going to mark it 1 inch, 1 inch. Now I can use my tracing wheel, but if you don't have tracing wheel, you use your ruler. So you pull the front and you make it equal. You give it a straight edge and you mark from that point for the back. So we've taken care of the back. Now what happens to this? You cannot see that it's longer than the back. What do? We'll change it to that, to bust that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure my bust span, divide into 4 plus 1 inch, which is 7, plus half an inch plus 1 inch is divided into 2, which makes it 8. So we're going to be having 4 here. So 4, 4, 4. Okay. So the dart for this plate for the front is, we added 1. So I'm going to make it half inch in between that. Then from my bust depth, which doesn't get, it must not get to the bust depth. That is a must, because it will flatten your bust. So from that point, bring it down by 1 inch. Then you connect. Okay. So now this 1 inch that is here, we're going to transfer it to this point. So I'm going to measure down 2 inches from the bust depth, 2 inches. Then I mark 1 inch up. Then from this point, I'm going to connect it to this point, but away from the bust depth by 1 inch or even 1.5, depending. So I'm going to connect. Okay. Okay, so are we getting it? Now we're going to mark the dart for the back. But I'm not going to use my pen. I'm just going to use tracing wheel to mark it from that point. So I'm going to get it up to my bust line, which is the armhole line. The pen, you don't want it to get there, you can still come down by 1 inch or half an inch, depending on the individual. The most important thing is that you make a dress and it fits. So I'm going to fold, I'm going to pinch it. The bust that I'm going to pinch it away so that we can smoothen our pattern. So okay. So okay. So now the next thing we need to do is to cut out our pattern. So I'm going to cut out now. Okay. So I'm going to cut the back first. Okay, so the next thing is to cut the side. So okay, now we finished cutting our back, but we are still not finished, so I'll still use the back later, but I will take it out and cut the front. Okay, so now I'm going to mark my cut one, center front, center back. Then we have not finished though. Now when we now finish, let me keep this intact. Then let me print out. Cut this out. This is 17.5. Okay, so okay, so now after we might have finished sewing, this is now straight. After removing the 1 inch, but we found out that our side is not straight like the front, and we use our measurement for the front. So the next thing is just to cut like half an inch or 3/4 inch from the side of your pattern. So now I'm gonna place it this way. You'll still see the difference when I finish. I'm gonna mark half an inch. So can we see? Then if I should pin the shoulder, you will not see the difference. So guys, when you now pick it, I'm going to smoothen this one because it's not that bad. There's no that at the side of the back now. So you can see that's how after we finish cutting, you can see the difference. And you see the difference of the front and the back. Now let me pin the side so that another thing we used to remove, we used to do to remove all the excess. Okay, so when we finish sewing like that, now this is supposed to be 8.5 together with the back, if you can see. Now you find out that the zip allowance we added was just 1 inch, so the back is still having some allowance that is going to give some little challenges. So that means there's like an half an inch, which is more than what we needed. So we will now mark half an inch. Sometimes it might be more than, depending on what you are doing. So we connect it to the bust line. This place now is 9.5 plus 1 inch, so I'm supposed to be having 10.5 inch. So you can see that at this point I'm having a 1/4 inch more, so I'm still going to remove from that point. So all you do is just connect your ruler and take it straight towards the neckline. And you cut that. So now when you are now sewing your zip allowance, you take that 1 inch. You're still going to go in, taking from this inch. So the 1 inch is going to be up to this. See the 1 inch. So the 1 inch is going to serve this way. So by the time you now finish your dress, it will fit. It will fit you perfectly, or fit your client perfectly, and you will not have this excess in there. Now, why do we raise 1.5? Now this is to take care of this high neck. You can see it's taking care of so that it acts the neckline. See it. So now you can notice a gap around here. So this is what normally we cut out for our princess dart. But if it's just a dart, by the time you put your sleeve, there's no matter. So all this gap can be removed when you are cutting your princess cut. You remove all the excess. So even at this, you have excess around here when you are doing your pattern drafting. So these are part of the excess, the gap you remove if you are doing a couture dress. So guys, we have come to the end of this tutorial. I hope you find it helpful. If you find it helpful, please do share with others. Share with other people. Give them a subscription if you have not done so. Like, press that notification bell, then comment if you have any question. And if there's a better way you normally cut your own freehand, you can share with us so that we'll learn from you too. So thank you guys. See you in my next videos. Bye.